Nadia is turning 36, but does not quite feel like celebrating. She tells her friend Max, who is obsessed with making the perfect chicken for the party. She then runs into Lizzie, and like Max, Lizzie wants to ensure Nadia has a great time. Nadia's been freaking out since this is her 36th birthday and her mom died at 35. Nadia leaves Mike, her one-night stand, in search of Oatmeal, the local deli cat. It caught her eye from across the street and she runs into the path of a taxi. She's back at her party, now she's having a massive case of deja vu and convinced she's losing it. She tells Max she believes the bathroom where the loops begins have some sort of magical powers. Nadia bumps into her ex, John, and sees Ruth. Ruth is Nadia's guardian. After an argument with John, she wanders off where she sees Oatmeal. She then goes to the pier near the Houston River, then Oatmeal disappears and Nadia falls into the river. Nadia is not sure if the loops are a result of her losing it or it all means something more. Max and Lizzie are concerned Nadia is focused on everything else but having fun. On her way out, she bumps into Mike. He catches her before she falls down the stairs, saving her life. Nadia made it through the first night, happy she made it to the morning. She goes about her day as a computer programmer. During her meeting, she's made aware that there's a bug in her code. She fixes it, but this got her thinking, does the code have anything to do with the loops? She finds out that Maxine fed her a special cigarette and she hurries to meet War Dog to find the truth. But before she could go through with it, John calls her, she gets distracted and falls into a basement grate. Nadia realized the burn from her cigarette in loop 2 was healed. She wasted no time to get to War Dog, but he didn't give her the answers she was looking for. But he did give her a lead, but that was also a dead end. Nadia sees Farron stumbling from a bar with his friend, and this isn't the first time Nadia saw this mysterious person. Now, they've caught her attention, as she believes this person could help her. She starts running to catch up to them, and falls into a basement grate again. Nadia looks to Max to complain, and when Max was no help, she strides away and falls down the stairs. She goes back to Maxine, but this time she was very angry. She falls down the stairs again. Nadia and Maxine argues, and she falls down the stairs. She tries to carefully get down the stairs this time, but she falls once more. Now she decides to stay at the party. There she falls asleep and made it through the night without dying. She carefully makes it out the apartment, avoiding the stairs. With Lizzie's help, she visits Ruth, and Ruth calls the medics to take Nadia to the psych ward. She resists and causes an incident. She immediately decides to enjoy her time at the party. She seems to finally have some understanding of the loops, with a list of rules she made. She seeks to find Horse, a homeless man she met, and a rabbi for help. She finds a secretary that won't let her speak to the rabbi without a husband, which forces her to call John. The rabbi wasn't much of a help to her. They got into a fight and Nadia wanders off where she meets Horse, who gives her a haircut, and they fall asleep and froze to death. She no longer has a haircut. Nadia is feeling good about herself now that she's getting a hang of the loop thing. She leaves her party and goes to check on Horse. She spends the night at the homeless shelter with him. The next morning she heads to her office. The elevator malfunctions and she meets a stranger carrying a ring box, whom also keeps dying.
Didn't you get the news? We're about to die.
It doesn't matter, I die all the time.
Continuing, Alan Loops begins. Alan walks past Nadia in the park. She's out looking for the homeless shelter. We learn that Alan is more organized and he's a perfectionist and is perfectly fine with the loops. We also learn that he has a girlfriend that he's about to propose to. However, he's trying to perfect the moments leading up to the proposal since she ends the relationship before he could. He reaches his breaking point when he learns that Beatrice has been sleeping with the professor, whom just happens to be Mike. Nadia is on a quest to find Alan. He screams at her for messing with his perfectly planned loop. She, however, tries to connect the dots and figure out why they're both dying over and over. Nadia brings him back to the party where he sees Mike and tries to hit him. Nadia points out to Alan that she believes the loops could actually be a different universe, and every time they die, they go to a new one that's identical to theirs. They decide to test this theory Alan believes that they're paying the price for something bad they've done. This prompts Nadia to ask everyone at her party if she's a bad person. She didn't get the response she was looking for. They go their separate ways and both continues to try and fix their broken relationships. With that, Nadia believes meeting John's daughter is the solution. Meanwhile, Alan becomes fixed on sabotaging Mike. Another incident and a new loop begins. Alan again picks a fight with Mike. Nadia's focused on getting a book for John's daughter. Another failed attempt at completing their missions. After multiple failed attempts, Nadia gives up. Just as she's about to meet John's daughter, she freezes and imagines the way she could die before her at the table. Alan's still fixed on destroying Mike. For the first time, they both die together. Alan reveals he doesn't remember how he first died, although Nadia remembers hers. They make it another one of their mission, find out Alan's first death. First stop Beatrice, where Nadia lashes out at her. Alan begins to fall for Nadia and they sleep together. Alan then decides to clean for her, but she lashes out as she's scared of change. She dies from choking on a chicken bone. Nadia apologizes to Alan and proposes they continue to search for the answers, especially now that it seems their time's running out. Then, in a shocking turn of events, they discover Alan's first death was a suicide. Nadia also realizes the drunk and mysterious stranger she saw at the deli was Alan. Nadia and Alan notices things are changing and starts panicking. Alan's fish has disappeared, there are less guests at Nadia's party, and the starting point, the bathroom, has completely changed.
We need supplies. Apocalypse! Fire escape! What's happening? What?
Nadia begins to relive her memories as her younger self, seeing her mom's mistakes. Alan and Nadia comes to the conclusion that they're in a loop because they could have both saved each other's lives and prevented their first death. Nadia's also been haunted by her younger self and continues to die when she appears. Alan decides to move on, breaking up with Beatrice. Nadia decides to meet John's daughter, but she's still haunted by her younger self and dies in front of her just as she feared. Everything's getting back to normal as all that was lost started to reappear. However, they're both back at the original loop, but things are a bit different as they both seem to be in different universes at the same time. In Nadia's timeline, Oatmeal leads Alan to Nadia, but it's as if they've never met. Suddenly, Alan knows exactly what he needs to do to save her. In Alan's timeline, Nadia sees him drunk and urges to save him. The lesson was they needed to be the ones to save each other. Alan saves Nadia from getting hit, and Nadia is able to convince him to stay put and promises he'll never be alone. All they ever needed was each other. Now the two Nadias and two Alans joins a parade with both timelines becoming parallels, and both Alan and Nadia are happy.